Well, hi, gang. So this is the day we've been waiting for, the day we're going to do our lab at home, right? So I thought I would make a quick video from home just so you can see how I might do this at home. And I know I said you only need three things, and that is some vinegar and baking soda and a water bottle, right? But there might be a couple other little household things that you'll need along the line. One is you're going to need some type of a bowl or a big container to kind of work this in. And you might need some measuring stuff as well, because we're going to measure things out, right? And of course, I told you you needed a water bottle. Now, you can see on my water bottle, I've kind of marked it. I just took a ruler and marked it off. And you can mark it however you want. But the marks are going to be important because we're going to use these marks to kind of measure how much gas we make from the reaction that we do. So speaking of that, this is going to be a rate lab, and rate is going to be our dependent variable that we're going to measure. And we said that rates can be determined by looking at how quickly a reactant gets used up or how quickly a product is made, right? And in this case, the product, that's what we're going to follow. The product is going to be carbon dioxide gas that comes from the baking soda and the vinegar. Now, I tweaked some things and made it so that the baking soda is always going to be our excess, okay? So we're always going to have excess baking soda. And then the thing that we're going to change each time is we're going to change the amount of vinegar that gets used, okay? That's going to be our independent variable. It's going to be like the concentration of the vinegar, only we'll just kind of measure it in milliliters that were added to the solution, okay? So let's see. Yeah, I think I'm ready to go. So first, let's take care of the vinegar, okay? So for our independent variable, I've selected 5 changes of vinegar. You'll be able to see those on the lab that you're looking at. And the 5 changes will be in tablespoons, because I figured that was easy and you had that around the house. A tablespoon is about 15 milliliters. So if you're being fancy and using graduated cylinders or something, then 15 milliliters might be good. So I'm going to use a tablespoon and just take me some vinegar here, and any vinegar will do. So just ask your mom for some. She'll have some around the kitchen. Common cooking ingredient, right? Now, I put it inside of this little cup here because this cup has something I can pour with, all right? So I'm going to take and put this into my reaction vessel. So I just put in 1 tablespoon of vinegar, and this will be the least violent of all of the reactions. The next thing we got to do is we have to fill this up with some water. So this is part of the reasons for the lines is I'm going to fill it up until it gets to this 4 right here. Now, what exactly is the 4? I measured it with a ruler. I have really no clue outside of that. And one of the things that you should know about doing an experiment is that it's not necessarily about knowing the exact numbers. It's about being consistent, right? And doing things the same each time. So by just filling it up to the 4 each time, I'm being consistent, right? And that's what you'll do too, is you'll just pick a spot on the bottle that you're going to fill this up. I'm not going to fill it all the way to the top because I need to let the reaction have a little room to develop those gases with, huh? All right, got my vinegar. Oh, one last thing. You should mix it up a little bit. So give it a little mix. You can mix up the vinegar inside of there. And there we go. Now, another device that I have around my kitchen is I got a towel, just in case I make some messes, huh? And another thought too is maybe you might want to do this over at the counter by the sink in case something, really catastrophic happens and you won't get it all over the floor. You could kind of get it into the sink maybe. Just some thoughts. So let's take care of the baking soda next. So I'm going to use a tablespoon of baking soda. There we go. So I got a tablespoon of baking soda here. Now, the question is, how am I going to get this into the bottle? Well, one thing I thought of was I could make a little like funnel out of some paper. So I tried that a couple of times and it worked pretty good. But then I had this idea. And it is an idea from a summer camp from long ago that I used to work at. We made these things called flower bombs. I don't know. Do you guys know what a flower bomb is? We used it to have like flower fights, flour, white flour. And then we would have 20 of them or 30 of them that we'd make up, and then we'd throw them at each other and, pelt each other. I guess it was an old school paintball thing or something. But anyways, so I got myself tissue paper here. I figured that's probably, I know it's adding to what you're supposed to have at home, but I figured that people have that, especially after the pandemic when we bought up all the paper products, right? And I'm going to make like a little burrito out of this thing, if you will. It's hard to see my there we go. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to like fold one end over. And then I'm going to kind of like roll it up here and make like a little baking soda burrito out of it. There we go. And then I can just pinch off the ends down here. I don't need to put the whole thing of tissue inside of there. Now, if this is too much work for you, then just, make a little funnel or get a funnel from your mom or something like that. But this, when I used it before I made this video, it worked out pretty sweet. So anyways, so I've got this bowl of water. We're going to use the bowl of water to seal off our water bottle container here. You see, I just have a little bit in it. I got a clear one so you guys could see what was going on. It helped out my cinematography here a little bit. So before I put these two things together, though, you need to have your stopwatch going. Or maybe if you video yourself, you could just run back into video and see how many seconds it took or something like that. But you can take your phone and just start the timer even before you mix the two together. And then say to yourself, when it hits 30 seconds, I'm going to go. And then you can just measure how long it takes from 30 seconds, right? So let's pretend I did that since my phone is in use right now. And get this ready over top of here. And it goes 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to drop that in there. And I'm going to flip it over. Woo, like I said, this is going to be like a violet one. I'm giving it a shake here. Yep. And there's little tiny bubbles. I don't know if you can see it or not. But I'm trying to give it a shake and get some more bubbles going. Your timer's going during this time, right? Timer's going. Come on, bubbles. Yeah. I guess one other thing that I want to say about labs, since we didn't get to work on labs this year very much. I don't know if my flower bomb is working so well here. But anyway, since we didn't get to work on labs so much, is the idea that sometimes labs are like a fail. You know what I mean? And sometimes it doesn't work out like perfect. So anyways, this could be one of those times. I'm giving it a shake, trying to mix the vinegar and the baking soda together. You can see I still have some bubble production going on here. Again, my timer's going, so I'm keeping track of how long. Give it some more shakes. As long as I keep the nozzle underneath the water, I'm not going to get any air from the outside, right? So I got the nozzle of this underneath down there. And that makes it so that I won't get any air up inside. And you can see some of that baking soda. That was right there was just a big explosion of it. So that was like some pressurized stuff. And my gas has been coming down. It started just a little above 1. It's a little below 1 right now. And I'm getting close to calling this quits. When I did it for practice, I made it so it went all the way down to the 2, but I don't know about this run. Looks like I'm kind of done. I don't see a whole lot of bubbles forming anymore. Yeah, I'm going to call that quits. Now, like I said, this is maybe the least violent of them because we use the least amount of vinegar, right? And I thought about showing you the most violent one, but then I said, nah, I want that to be a little more of a surprise for them, huh? So that's why I chose to do maybe the least violent of the reactions here. So anyways, yeah, I would have hit my button by now, and you can see I've gone down a little bit. If you want to put more marks on here, that's fine, and you can kind of see where it starts at. It started a little above the 1, and now it's a little below the 1, and so I can call that maybe, what, about a half? So I'll say I got about a half of whatever we want to call this graduation here. I got half of that, 0.5, right? So I got 0.5 in volume. You have your time over here that you can see when you call it quits. And then you're going to record that in the data sheet that you see that I have, huh? Okay, I don't want to be too long. So that was the demonstration. And now you guys get to work on making up your solutions. And again, maybe you have something on hand to clean up any messes in case they happen. Don't worry if you fail. Just repeat the experiment, right? If it doesn't look good, it's not following the trends, repeat it, do it again. Okay, that's it for us here. And you have a great time working on your experiment. And I'm looking forward to seeing some awesome reports from you over the next couple of days. Bye.